Good morning. I love being here at the New Thought Spiritual Center of Eastern Long Island. I realize I've been speaking here for over a dozen years now. A dozen years I've of this spiritual family, and I always love coming because the energy in the room it's wonderful. It's wonder filled. It's great. So the topic this month is demonstration. To demonstrate merely means to prove the spiritual truth principles as taught by the denomination New Thought, or what is known as practical spirituality. In a nutshell, the main principle of New Thought is that there's one creative presence and power in the universe. It's an infinite intelligence, a magnificent energy, presence, and power. It is the creator of all that is. This power expresses in and through all of life everywhere, and it is individualized presence that is in each of us. It is our I am nature, our divine essence. And so we inherently are spiritual beings having a physical experience. It's in the structure of our DNA, in our physical bodies, that we're spiritual beings. I love the acronym for DNA, divine nature always. How cool is that? Divine nature always is to be a spiritual being. Therefore, we have the power to create, and it starts with our thinking. Thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. Power flows to the focus of attention. Wherever our attention goes, energy flows. Therefore, it's of the utmost importance that we monitor our thinking and keep it positive. It's the repetitious thoughts that form a pattern in the subconscious mind. And according to the law of attraction, or the law of the circle, or what traditional religion calls the action of the Holy Spirit, we draw and attract people, circumstances, and events that correspond to our thought patterns. Now, in order to demonstrate anything, we must be willing. We must be willing. And to be willing is to be prepared to do something. It's a readiness to do something. So we must be willing to daily take the time and energy to first create a personal, intimate relationship with the creator of all that is. And then once we've established this connection, then we must take the energy to strengthen and deepen it. And so the most powerful and effective way is through meditation, because when we're willing to quiet our mind and body, we experience a vitality, a vital communication with the creator of all that is. There's a transfusion, if you will, of this divine creative energy as we seek to commune with it. We feel a sense of peace. We feel a sense of being renewed. We feel renourished and revitalized as we develop this innate ability. It is innate. If people say, oh, I can meditate. Yeah, you can meditate because it's innate ability to meditate. You just have to practice. And so we can contact a source of love and power and wisdom and life. And so the analogy for this experience would be like a drop of water that's separated from the ocean. It becomes powerless. It's just a weak drop of water, and it begins to evaporate. However, if that drop of water is returned to the ocean, it's permeated with the quality and the nature of the whole ocean, and it partakes of the ocean's strength and power. And this is exactly what happens to us as we are willing to meditate. There's a poem by the philosopher Dr. Ernest Holmes. He wrote The Tomb Science of Mind, and it's regarding meditation. And it's about the potential to live in what's called the kingdom of heaven, meaning the place where all things are working together for our good. It goes like this. Peace be unto thee, stranger. Enter and be not afraid. I've left the gate open, and thou art welcome to my home. There is room in my house for all. I have swept the hearth and lighted the fire. The room is warm and cheerful, and you will find comfort and rest within. The table is laid, and the fruits of life are spread before thee. The wine is here also, it sparkles in the light. I've set a chair for you where the sunbeams dance through the shade. Sit and rest, refresh your soul. Eat of the fruit and drink of the wine. All is yours, and you are welcome. It is nice. Isn't that delicious? That was delicious. So the universe has created a place for us to sit and rest and refresh our soul and live from a place of vibrant, dynamic, radiant, enthusiastic joy, to experience freedom and wholeness. This is available to us if we're willing to meditate. There's many methods of meditation. Breathing meditation, focus on your breathing. Mindfulness meditation. Transcendental meditation, which is mantra meditation. And if you don't know how to meditate, I encourage you to go on YouTube, and there's plenty of guided meditations that you can learn how to do it and practice. Now, meditation requires one thing that we free spirits resist, and that is discipline. And I like, Ted, that you mentioned discipline this morning. A little synchronicity there. Self-discipline is about where you put your attention, where you allow your attention to go, because that's where the energy is going to flow. And so in meditation, we strengthen our ability to operate from a higher level of consciousness. We feel this sense of partnering with spirit. We begin throughout the day to have a daily conversation with this inner presence and power. We feel so connected because we are connected. We're connected in the field of love and creativity. So my question for you today is, are you willing to go into the depths of God's presence, into the depths of God's power, into the depths of God's love, into the depths of God's guidance and healing and profound peace? This is the invitation. This is what is the calling of meditation. Another tool required to demonstrate is affirmative prayer. Affirmative prayer, along with meditation, allows us to establish this close contact with the presence and power within. This is a conscious commingling of our thought with spirit, and it's essential to our well-being and essential to being able to demonstrate. Affirmative prayer is really simple. You can look online, recognize, unify, realize. You recognize there's one amazing energy, presence, and power in the universe. Unify, it expresses through me as me. It seeks to express through me as me. It knows itself by means of its creation. And then you declare that which you choose to experience, whatever it is, whether it's a job or finances or on and on. Prayer is always answered. And there's 3 specific answers to prayer. One of them is yes. The other one is not yet. And the third one is there's something way better there out there for you, and maybe not what you had in mind at all. If we're doing our daily meditation and prayer and we're not demonstrating our good, it's likely because we've gotten caught up in the world of appearances. And I want to address this because, we've just gone through this thing called pandemic. And I remember I gave a talk actually here about the 91st Psalm. It actually talks about pandemic and pestilence. And we can get so caught up in the world appearances. We use our senses, and if you can't watch the news without blessing the news, please turn off the news, turn off the negativity, because there's so much negativity out there that we can literally absorb it if we're not centered. And what happens is that we've been conditioned to believe that circumstances and material things are the sources of our good. The spiritual truth is that it's not our business, it's not our employer, it's not our investments, because our business, our employer, and our investments can change, but God is changeless. God can never fail us. And so unless we're solid in knowing our spiritual identity through meditation and prayer, then we don't know the source of our good, and we can get filled with despair and fear. I mean, for goodness sakes, I was going to look up the statistics, and I'm like, I'm not going to bring these people negative statistics, but you've been to the grocery store. You can see yourself how much everything has increased. Gasoline, it's crazy. There's in the world of experiences, there's a lot of negativity going on out there. So it behooves you. It is your spiritual responsibility, your ability to respond, to connect with this inner presence and power, because people and events in your life, they change, because that's the way the human experience is. They are channels, they are avenues and vehicles through which God's good can express in your life as you are willing. Everything is a channel. There's so many channels through which the goodness of the universe can express. There's one source, many channels. God alone is the source of my good. And when we look to God alone as the source of our supply, there is no limit to the good that can manifest in your life. It is just amazing. You walk in the land of divine synchronicity, finding yourself in the right place at the right time, meeting the right people, having the most extraordinary experiences. And that's what promised to us, because God never limits us. And when things are looking bleak, like inflation and gasoline prices and the supply chain shortage and all that negativity, it's like a snowball. The negativity is a snowball at the top of a hill. It rolls down, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So you gotta interrupt that thought. You have to catch yourself when you realize that you're thinking negative. And we remind ourselves there's one source, many channels. God alone is the source of my good. Repeat after me. There's one source and many channels.
There's one source and many channels.
God alone is the source of my good.
God alone is the source of my good.
Now, you know, I write jingles. So this one goes like this. One source, many channels. One source, many channels. One source, many channels. God alone is the source of my good. God alone is the source of my good. Come on. One source, many channels. One source, many channels. One source, many channels. God alone is the source of my good. God alone is the source of my good. Let's do it one more time. One source, many channels. One source, many channels. One source, many channels. God alone is the source of my good. God alone is the source of my good. We've got a couple of dancers in the back. Those of you on video can't see Joseph dancing. So I call upon you today to daily feed your spirit with prayer and meditation. And as we are turned on and tuned into and continuously nurture our connection to the divine within, is when we will experience light and love and peace, power, beauty, joy, music, wisdom, poise, balance, and my favorite of all times, ease. I move forward in life with ease. And so we're going to find that synchronicity. We're going to be just living a delicious life experience. I'd like to close with affirmative prayer. I think that's right appropriate, because there's tremendous power when we join together in prayer. So I'm going to invite you to own this. I'm going to speak it in the first person. I invite you to resonate in your own consciousness. So let's take 3 breaths, each one deeper than the one before, into the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And one more time, in through the nose, out through the mouth. I encourage you to close your eyes, because you'll be more focused and less distracted. I am an awesome expression of the divine power and presence that is spirit. I am willing to allow the divine essence that I am to be expressed. I'm willing to allow the genius within to unfold. I'm willing to express the joy and peace that I am. I'm willing to express creativity. I'm willing to go out in the world and spread love and light just by showing up. I have an attitude of gratitude, for I know that I am divinely guided in all I think, say, and do. And today I say yes to an even greater expression of life than ever before, a greater expression of spirit as me. I am living in the continual expectancy that every good thing in my experience shall be multiplied. I affirm that today and every day is filled with blessings for myself and for others. New ideas, new opportunities to experience greater good, greater harmony, greater inspiration. They flow into my awareness, and I accept them and I act upon them. I consciously direct my thinking towards the good. The past is gone. I let it go. I do not waste my thought energy on worry or doubt or fear. I do not give negative circumstances any free rent in my brain. Instead, I am divinely guided to do those things that totally empower my self-expression in terms of my relationships, in terms of my health, in terms of my employment, my finances, my creative self-expression, my general overall well-being, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. I'm guided into right action, successful accomplishments of all my good desires, and right here and right now, I experience a sense of enthusiasm, expectancy, and excitement because I am divinely guided in all ways, always. And so begins your lesson.